Love Island isn't just a dating show, guys. Love Island is a bone-chilling MK Ultra experiment run by Grey Zetas, okay? Negative extraterrestrials to control your mind, harvest your sexual energy, harvest your soul. I say this very intensely because it just got really intense when I was bringing that out. But if you're a mom like me, you probably have teenage girls, okay? And those teenage girls probably love watching Love Island. And even if you have teenage boys, I don't know if the boys are watching it, but the girls are definitely enthralled with the show. They like the show, they resonate with the show. And all I can really see as I'm watching it is all of the hidden rituals that are behind this, how things seem really off and really weird, how language seems coded, how I think there's like a dark cabal type agenda that's behind this so-called reality show. I think there's a lot of alarm bells that we should be looking at. One of the main things is how they get the contestants in the first place. It's through the setup, how they set it up. Through isolation and control. They typically target very young adults, okay, like definitely under 25, the majority. You know, so they're impressionable contestants. A lot of them are probably kind of naive and don't know the dangers and the threats of this world, just having their eyes wide open, running into something inherently opportunistically to try to probably get ahead. Like the clout is probably nice from this show, but you know, a lot of them are barely out of their teens. Like they just turned like 18, 19, 20. They're on this Love Island show. And so, and the way they pull them is they don't give them a huge warning. Like they're told that they're about to go on to the show, to Love Island, and they give them like, you need to decide within 24 hours type of thing, right? Like they tell them like quickly, like you need to decide quickly. Like they don't like to give them a long time to think about their decision. They don't like to give them a long time to read through the contracts. They don't like to give them a long time to really think everything over and through. Like it's like, are you in or are you out? Let's go. So they have to, you know, make that decision. You know, they call and say, you've made it. And then fly them out to a remote island within days. So no time to really question, just jump and go. Another thing we have to look at is how when they get there to the island, they completely cut off their phones, take their phones, like no phones are allowed, no internet is allowed, no clocks in Love Island. No clocks, like they can't know what time it is. That's a little strange. No contact with the outside world whatsoever. They're just kind of trapped in this luxurious prison, a villa on an undisclosed island where time itself vanishes. No clocks, no sense of day or night. I mean, of course they're going to have sense of day and night because of the sun, but these people are telling them like when to go to bed, when to wake up. Like they put them on a routine and that the island people, the show is in control of, which is strange for the whole time, right? So it's just kind of like they're on this undisclosed island and then time feels like it vanishes itself. And I really feel like what they're experiencing is textbook to sensory deprivation, right? They start to dull their senses. And it's a cornerstone of MK Ultra mind control designed to break down the psyche and make it ripe for manipulation. So they're putting these people in a very manipulative, a very vulnerable state of being off the bat. Another thing they do is before they step foot on the island, all of the contestants have to sign an ironclad contract, a non-disclosure agreement, gagging them from revealing the show's true agenda. So nobody's since going on Love Island, has been able to speak about what they've experienced behind the scenes. So who is really pulling the strings, right? It goes back to their media corporation. But the media are also biased, predators, and they can be bought out by predators, right? They're bought out by the negative agendas, the negative ETs. That a lot of this is linked back to the CIA. Like when you look at the fashion of how that works for MK Ultra, the deep state, persuasion of political power and authoritative power to other corporations, things like this. And it could tie all the way back to a shadowy cabal tied to the Draco human hybrid experimentations and programs, abduction, cloning, identity insertion, possession, forced breeder programs. Like, we're watching a forced breeder program. Like, that's freaking insane. So this isn't just a show. This isn't just a TV show, guys. This is a data harvesting operation for extraterrestrial forces feeding on human emotional energy to tighten their grip on the planet because they want that human energy so bad. And you'll notice inside of the villa, it's not about romance. It's actually about rituals. A lot of these contestants are coerced into sexual group behaviors. Okay, forced to make out with like 7 people at a time. Ew. So what comes with that is a lot of public shaming. Also humiliation games. I mean, this is like freaking Hunger Games, but humiliation games. Spitting food into each other's mouths, like regurgitating food into someone's mouth and that person's regurgitating that food into someone else's mouth and that person's regurgitating food into someone else's mouth and they're continuing to go down the line and regurgitate food into each other's mouths. Like perverted, embarrassing, humiliation, public shaming rituals. And, right? So this isn't random. I think that this is calculated. This is calculated for, again, one, for them to collect data, but also to shatter those people's egos and do implant archetypal identities, like insert new identities. Yeah, insert in a new a controller identity. Multiple identities could be stepping in actually to control that being once they have like public image, or once they have more hooks into the public collective mind host field, the hive essentially. Either way, it's all MK Ultra tactic. And another thing too that I find very, very strange is in the Casa Amor scenes, there's scenes where these women go into a room that they're supposed to go into with their significant other, their partner, the BF, the one they're in the couple with and have like intimate experiences with in the Casa Amor. When the women get out of Casa Amor, they talk about what they experienced in Casa Amor, the sexual acts coded in terms like oral sex as appetizers, intercourse as the main course. It's eerily similar to Pizzagate coded language, hinting at darker activities on the secret island. So, you know, I feel like that's all conditioning and grooming the public for the Epstein files, the Epstein Islands, for P. Diddy getting off the hook from his sex scandal. And again, and maybe this is a Zionist push even to propagate more sexual pandery that would exploit the Western ideology to implant perversions, basically. To implant perversions into it, and just to harness more and hijack more of that sexual energy, collectively speaking. MK Ultra and CIA mind control programs also often use trauma to enslave the human mind. So these people are getting traumatized in there. That's what's happening to them. They are kept isolated, for one. They're sleep deprived because how well would you sleep if you were in a room with like 6 to 8 other people? You see what I'm saying? People are snoring over each other. People are having sex in the same room. Like, they're sleep deprived. They're bombarded with emotional extremes, constant love and betrayal and rejection in an artificial bubble. And they purposely antagonize those betrayals. They purposely antagonize those things to come in and basically rip them apart and prime their mind for holographic inserts, holographic slides, mind slides that suppress memories, trigger compliance. And a lot of the contestants honestly seemed very dazed, and they seem overly emotional and unable to explain their actions all the time. And so it's almost like they're keeping them docile and keeping them unaware. And the damage also doesn't stop when the cameras stop. Essentially, a lot of the contestants have reported severe mental health crises after leaving the show. Some even confessed to suicidal thoughts, and all of the aftermath of intense psychological trauma. All of this is the hallmark of MK Ultra programming. So this is just, it's very relentless. It's, again, public humiliation. And this is leaving lasting scars, fragmenting these people's psyches, driving them to despair. Right? And the producers of the show do know this. And yet the experiment continues. They know that people are, becoming suicidal after the show. So, yeah, I kind of think Love Island is a beta test for the Grey and Zeta and Draconian allies. There's something about where they're harvesting the human soul matrix by mapping our reactions to the love, to the betrayal, to the lust, to all of it, because they take viewer polls, they get viewer data, they test people's heart rate. I wouldn't even be surprised if they weren't muscle testing the collective or doing, there's other types of testing that they're running. So yeah, it's all coming from our responses to the emotional outburst of the data. And yeah, I think this is a big ploy to manipulate human behavior on a global scale. They're programming the collective, normalizing this ritualistic relationship shit. Very demonic energy. This is Antichrist energy. Hypersexualized behavior while siphoning our life force. And the worst part about all of it is most people are complicit in watching and feeding this machine.